Hey girl, what's up? So I decided to just come and do a quick little video on a question that you asked me under my video because it would have been too long for me to be trying to text you back. Girl, you asked a whole bunch of questions, and no, I'm not mad that you was being nosy. I mean, I put it out there, so I'm kind of glad that you asked or whatever. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and answer you in a video because I feel like that would be easier. So it says, so question, this might be real personal and you don't have to answer, but since you told the story, I gotta ask, where was your oldest during this time? Okay, so my oldest son was with his dad. My oldest son, this was in 2000, and I got married in 2012 to my ex-husband. So this was 2011 when this happened. So my oldest son was 10. He started staying with his dad when he was 8. His dad knew about my sexuality, and apart from him wanting to keep my son for the whole year so that he can claim him on his taxes, he also didn't like the fact that I was gay or bisexual or fluid, however you want to call it. And he didn't want, his son to be in that kind of household. So he decided to step up and, take on the responsibility of raising him. And he did that since my son was 8. So like on weekends and holidays and stuff like that, that's when I would get my oldest son. So from 8 to 18, my oldest son was raised and primarily cared for by his dad and his stepmom. He had a bunch of stepmoms, but he had one that was pretty permanent, like towards the end of his life. So yeah, that's where he was at. It says, was your ex-girlfriend arrested? So when I went to the hospital, like before the nurses or doctors even tended to me, they were asking me questions like, who did this to you, basically. And to be honest, I really didn't want to tell on her. I don't know. I didn't want her to get in trouble for some odd reason. But eventually I was just like, the person who brought me here is the one who done it. And then they pointed her out. And she was arrested, but it was like she got, what do you call it, bailed or bonded out. So she wasn't like in jail for a long time. She got bonded out, and then she had to wait for like a court date kind of thing before she actually like went to jail to serve time for it. Now, when I did get out of the hospital, I did try to drop the charges against her so that she wouldn't have to, go to jail, because that's just who I was. Like, I didn't want to see her punished. Like, even though I had got shot, I didn't want to see her punished. Like, I could tell she was hurt and she was remorseful for what she did. And like, I didn't really want to see her get into a lot of trouble. But by the time I tried to do that, it was already, it wasn't like me against her kind of thing. It was the state against her. So the state picked up the charges on my behalf, and that's something she really couldn't avoid. So she did end up getting a lawyer and, a lighter sentence, but she did, I want to say 5 years. It was assault with a deadly weapon. Everybody was like, it should have been like attempted murder because she shot me in my chest, but it was dropped down to a very minimal charge. So she didn't have to do no more than 5 years. How did your family react to you going back to her? Well, my mom was already deceased when this happened. My mom had just literally passed away. This was 2011. How old was I in 2011? I was in my early 20s because my mom passed away right before I turned 21. So I was probably like 22, 23 when this happened. And my stepdad, my real dad, like I said, I didn't really have no relationship with him. So he probably didn't even know what happened to me. And then my stepdad, he tried to be there for me as much as he could. That's who I was living with after I got out of the hospital, was my stepdad. And of course he didn't want me to, go back to her. He felt like it was a dangerous situation. And then as far as like my other family, you know, they contacted me or whatever and was worried. But I mean, I was my own person, and my mom always said I was rebellious and that I didn't like to follow rules, and that's just kind of where it was. Like, no matter what my family was going to say, I was still going to do what I was going to do regardless. So even if they felt some kind of way about me going back to her, like, obviously I didn't care. It says, have you had any contact with her since you broke up? So after me and her broke up, like, let me tell you, I had to listen to fucking Adele. Like, I always have to listen to music in order to get through breakups. Like, music be motivating me. It be motivating me through the worst. But I was listening to Adele, Hello from the Other Side. There's a fire burning in my chest or soul or whatever she said. But yeah, I was listening to that, and then I was finally like, I'm about to just go and break up with her. And then I did. It was sad or whatever, but no, I haven't heard from her since I broke up. I haven't seen her since I broke up. No, matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie, like I want to say probably like a year after it happened, I did go on social media looking for her, but I didn't like hit her up or anything like that. Or no, it wasn't even a year after it happened. It was when I found out she got out of jail is when I did look her up. And I didn't reach out to her. I didn't message her or anything like that. But, you know, I wanted to see what she was doing. And, of course, she's very private. So her profile is, you know, like extra security, gotta be a follower looking ass. So I didn't really see too much. The only time I've heard about her was my brother. My youngest brother posted something on Facebook, and she commented on his post, and he told me about it, but I didn't even look at the post or anything like that. So other than that, I have not heard from her. I have not seen her or anything like that since we broke up, and she got out of jail, and I looked her up for like a quick second. It says, how did you and your second husband, how did you meet your second husband, and what was his take on what happened? So my second husband, I met him while I was still with my girlfriend. I met him because a homegirl had asked me if I wanted to make some money because she had just married a Nigerian for some money, and my husband was looking for a wife too. So that's how I met him. I went over there. He was really, really drunk, and we exchanged numbers. We kissed on the first time that we met. And yeah, that's pretty much how I met him. I met him it was kind of like a seeking arrangements kind of thing. So yeah, that's how I met my second husband. And when I told him what happened, like, I don't know where he was at. Like, mentally, he was just like, I don't know, like, sometimes he was there, but sometimes he just wasn't really there. Like, I feel like a lot of times I would tell him stuff, but he just didn't believe me. And then, like, later on in our marriage, he would make, like, jokes about it, and I didn't think that shit was funny at all. But it wasn't really the response that you would think you would get from a person. Like, I feel like I'm a whole angel out here walking in these streets nowadays. Like, when I think about my life and all the things that I've been through, yeah, I definitely feel like a whole angel out here in these streets. And anybody who had me and didn't do right, and then they see where I'm about to go, like, it ain't on me kind of thing. But yeah, I don't feel like he really took it serious. I feel like he couldn't take me serious because of the whole fact that he was seeking arrangements from the get-go. So he liked me, but it was more of an aesthetic kind of thing. He liked my beauty, but he wasn't really into the fact that I was fucking broken, like, when he met me. Like, anybody with a healthy frame of mind and reference would know, like, damn, this girl might need some help. She might be going through something. She's pretty on the outside, but she is pretty dark on the inside. I can imagine, you know, like, thinking, like, if I met somebody, that's what I'm gonna be thinking, like, they probably need some help, they probably need some love kind of thing. But he was just too busy worrying about making sure his status was fine and turning up every night. But yeah, it says, you say your baby daddy came to see you in the hospital. How'd that go? Okay, so he came to see me in the hospital, and girl, I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. That man had me very fearful. Like, didn't know like what was gonna happen. But while I was in the hospital, I was like, he probably gonna try to finish me off, looking ass. But no, he just came, you know, he checked on me and whatever, made sure I was all right. Let me know that my son was good and that everybody was praying for me. And that was pretty much that when he came to see me in the hospital. And then it says, okay, sis, I know I'm nosy. I hope that you seek therapy to unpack all of this. And I do. I want to go to therapy. I want to go through all of this. I feel like I've been through it a lot. Like I've tried to unpack it myself, but you know, I'm not a therapist. I tried to unpack it with my higher self, with God. I've tried to unpack it, and to be honest, like I'm at a point to where it doesn't really bother me that much as it used to. Like sometimes I'll talk about it and yeah, I'll get teary-eyed because I'm like, I can't believe that I went through that, or I can't believe that, you know, I seen the red flags and I didn't like revert or run and I waited the situation out. Like sometimes, yeah, like I wonder like what was really wrong with you for you to even go back to her after she did that. Like I do, like I wonder what kind of traumas I have, especially from my childhood, because I feel like I do have some childhood traumas that I really need to unpack, which probably affect my whole view and outtake on relationships. Like yeah, I can get like information from social media on how to become the better and best version of myself and how to be the better and best version of myself in a relationship, but I still feel like I need to go a little bit deeper just so that I can really understand it, and not only understand it but also just put a release to it, or like I don't know if there's like a final release if I, you know, uncover some things. But yeah, I would definitely love to find a Black therapist. It could be a man or a woman, I don't really care, but I do want to find a really good therapist, and I just have to go on the search and looking for one and getting my coins together, so you know I can afford one. I guess I could go like without some things in order to get it done, but I feel like the money will definitely be there when it's there in order for me to do it, so I'm not even worried about it. It's going to be something that I get done. And then it says, you went through a whole lot, sis. I remember your video where you talked about your tattoos and stab wounds and your bullet scar. So sorry that you went through this. If not for yourself, do it for your kids. You need to be okay so they can be. Show them that it's okay to seek help if needed, and it's not a sign of weakness. Thank you for your sympathy. Thank you for your kind words and encouragement. I definitely will be seeking some type of therapy as soon as I can. When we were at Fort Carson in Colorado, my husband was like, go to the military therapy or whatever, and they'll pay for it. And I was just like, I don't know, because he was going through some therapy for some things and it just didn't seem like it was helping him, and I just felt like he wasn't connecting. And when I do go, I don't want it to be something to where it's a waste of time. Surprisingly or not, that we're talking about therapy, I actually seen something on Heart to Heart. It was Kevin Hart and Tyra P. Henson. She started a mental health foundation or something like that, and it's, you know, mainly for Black people, so I might look into seeing what that is like, because I feel like if it's Black owned, and you know, I don't know, I feel like a lot of these Black actors, they be, you know, having some, you know what I'm saying, so if it's helping them, it might could help me too. So yeah, I might look into that just to see what it's about, see what's good, because like I said, I do want help, but I want help from somebody that kind of understands me and my melanated history and DNA and genetic makeup. But thank you for reaching out and leaving a comment and showing concern after hearing such a story, because like that was a lot. And like praying hand emojis or something. It had to be a comment. Like if I would have watched that video, I would have left some praying hands, God bless you, or something, because getting shot is a whole it's a whole traumatic experience. PTSD, I feel like I definitely suffer with that, not only from getting shot, just from other stuff that has happened to me in my life. But as I'm talking about it, like my hands are so sweaty. Like they're super sweaty. But yeah, I'll get help eventually. Just keep me in your prayers and keep me lifted, because each day is definitely a task. It's a task. And I'm not going to sit here and be like every day is hard, because it's not. A lot of days are good. A lot of days are great. But you know, each day is like you got to wake up, and some things you relive, some things you don't relive. But like you said, I gotta be strong for my kids, and most importantly, I have to be strong for myself. I feel like I'm the kind of person who has always shown strength and empowerment to like other people, but I feel like as of now, I'm getting to the point to where it's like my time to be strong for me and be okay with being strong for me, and not really care about people that feel like, oh, I'm acting funny because she's usually there for me and now she's not there for me, because who has my back except for me? And it's like people will say they have your back, but deep down inside, like I know that I have to be numero uno. And you know, this is a long ass video, so I'm about to go ahead and end it now. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.